Hey there, this is the Heir of Carthage bringing you another Rome Total War online battle commentary. I decided to switch things up a little bit for this battle. I decided to try and win with the barbarian faction. I played one game as Dacia, in which I had a big rip-off loss. I'll upload that later. But I actually won this one with the Thracians. I have a barbarian Thracian army. I have 4 units of Falksmen, 6 units of Bastarnae, 6 units of archers, and 1 general's armored bodyguard, but that's not where my general's at. I left my general with the Bastarnae. So, my opponent was, I don't mean to be mean, my opponent is O Factor. But honestly, with the quality of the army he has, it was a bit cowardly not to attack me, so I decided that if he didn't want the initiative, that I would take it. He just sat there waiting for me to move. So I moved into position, and I'm going to use my archer superiority to win the first part of this battle. As you can see, he has a pretty typical online Roman army. He has 4 urban cohorts with upgrades, and 4 Praetorian cavalry that look like gold. Yeah, gold upgrades probably. In any case, urban cohorts and Praetorian cavalry are so overrated it drives me crazy. Really drives me crazy. So I brought a pretty tough army here. These Falksmen are tough on the, not necessarily head-on with quality infantry, but if they're flanking quality infantry, they're going to be tough because they have such a high attack. And the same thing, Bastarnae also have a really high attack, but not such great defense, but they have 2 hit points, which makes them a stronger unit. So anyway, we're just going to do some missile skirmishing, and he's going to move up his infantry a little. So like I said, I played one battle like this, I'll upload it later, is between Dacia and Rome, and I'm going to have to show you how it kind of ripped me off. Both battles were played in the snow, and so all of my troops, with the exception of my archers and this general's bodyguard, are going to receive a combat bonus, which you would think would make a significant difference in the fight, but we'll see whether or not it does. So anyway, as you can see, we're just trading arrows, and obviously I'm going to be winning this. So pretty soon here my opponent's going to go ahead and move up his infantry. But he seems to be taking his time about doing all of it, which I guess is okay. I guess it's better to think before you go into battle rather than to make a rash judgment. So here he comes, he's going to march forward a little with his urbans. I think I deal them a little bit of archer fire, just because he doesn't really have many archers left. And I know arrows don't do a whole lot to the front of urbans, but didn't really have anything else to use my arrows on yet, so as you can see his archers are nothing but a pitiful force now. And he's caused only minimal damage to my archers. I think 1 unit got pretty depleted and that's it. So he takes his cavalry way out to the flanks, like way too far out to the flanks. I don't know why he did that. I guess he's trying to stay away from my archers, but it leaves them to where it's going to take him a minute to get into the battle. Now here he makes the mistake of turning the side of his urbans to me, and I guess he thinks that his Roman dignity and civilization make him immune to me exploiting his weaknesses, but it doesn't. So as you can see here, I kill a bunch of his urbans with flank shots. So don't be turning your sides to me, or else you're going to get arrows stuck in them. So I decided to turn the flames on to try and demoralize some of these urbans, because I'm going to need all the help I can get when I start to fight them, because we all know how cheap urbans are. So I'm really pouring it on thick now with my archers onto these urbans into the flanks, and this one's lost 20 men, and this other unit has also lost nearly 20 men. Now I'm hitting these guys from the front, so it's not going to do quite as much damage, but I'm going to keep pouring it on. Here I'm going to move my infantry up and try and get ready to encircle his infantry into pockets. He let 2 of his units get isolated. That was a bad move. So here he comes in to attack my Falksmen, but I get a little bit better encirclement around him, and so his urbans are going to have an uphill fight here. So they might win, but they're certainly going to suffer casualties. And here I'm encircling them with my Bastarnae, and that's going to be bad. If there's one thing you don't want, it's Bastarnae cutting you down from behind. I mean, look at these guys. They don't need to wear a shirt in the snow, and look at that helmet in their face. I mean, obviously that's not some guy you want to screw with. And of course the blue looking hair, I guess, just adds to it. In any case, he charges in his Praetorian cavalry here, and of course it routs my Falksmen, one unit of them, and then I take in my general's bodyguard to help reinforce. But anyway, he's gotten bogged down here, and against Falksmen and Bastarni, his units are going to take heavy losses. Over here, I have his infantry outnumbered badly. He tries to bring in another Praetorian charge, but this one's unsuccessful because it's intercepted by my other 2 units of Falksmen, and they're also going to pay the price. As you can see, I've already cut both units down into the 30s. He's going to take this opportunity to get rid of a few of my archers, which is probably a good idea, so I can't pour fire into his flanks. So his cavalry's going to, like I said, try and get rid of my archers here. My units are still fighting him and doing pretty well here. His units are, says defeat seems certain, and especially since I bring my cavalry back in. And over here, his units are suffering badly also. Being outflanked by units like Falksmen and Bastarni is very bad. So,
your gallant general has fallen
here
and
I'm
caused
actually,
his troops much heartache.
well, I lost my
Much
general, and
better to
that
have
kind of
lived.
scared me because I had a barbarian faction. Well, I don't know that Thrace is really a barbarian faction, but they're pretty close. And in any case, I thought that was going to hurt me, but I had his troops so beleaguered that it's not going to matter. So, this is my revenge on Praetorian cavalry and urban cohorts. I'm going to take your stinking civilization, and I'm going to give it a barbarian twist, and you're going to die. So, like I said, I don't feel sorry for a single one of these elite troops, because there's been many times when my equally good troops have been cut down by urbans who were outflanked, outnumbered, missiles in their back,
The enemy general
and
flees.
the urbans still
Press
win.
forward so that the
So,
spirit of his army
I
is
hope
a
every one of them
broken
dies,
tool.
and I hope they have
God be
frostbite.
praised. This victory is surely
So,
their work,
As you
not
can see,
that of
I
mortals
pulled off
like
a victory,
us.
which is pretty surprising because I stink with factions like Thrace. But it really felt good to kill all those urbans and Praetorians. As you can see, he lost nearly every man in his army. He had 785 soldiers and only left with 43 remaining. I had 1,309 soldiers, but I had 649 men still standing when the battle was over. So take that, urban cohorts and Praetorian cavalry. We don't like you. Go home.